Let's continue again with our topic, that is depreciation methods. We're done with the first two. That those are uh, straight line method and the sinking fund method. Next is we're going to discuss now. Mas pagsabay na natin yung declining balance method and the double declining balance method. Double declining and declining balance. The methods are very similar. Magkakaiba lang sila ng factors, no? But the application would be quite, or not quite, it would be very, very similar. Okay, so anong difference nilang dalawa? Let's discuss the two methods. So, declining balance methods. In this method, sometimes called the constant percentage method or the Matheson formula, it is assumed that the annual cost of depreciation is a fixed percentage. So take note, the annual cost of depreciation is fixed percentage of the salvage value. So hindi pwedeng walang salvage value or scrap value or value at the end of the useful life. Okay? And at the beginning of the year. So the ratio of the depreciation in any year to the book value at the beginning of that year is constant throughout the life of the property and is designated by K, the rate of depreciation. So K is the rate of depreciation. So sometimes K is already given, no? So sometimes by rule of thumb or by experience, ilang taong ka na sa financial business, and you can just designate a certain value of K, then you can um, remove this part of the solution and then directly substitute the value of K in solving for the depreciation. No? So the rate of depreciation K is solved using this formula. So it can be in terms of N would be number of years, or L would be the length or the useful life ng dito, ng equipment or property. Okay, so next, that's declining balance method. Okay, so take note, the method does not apply if the salvage value is 0. Sabi ko na kanina to. Because K will be equal to 1 and D1 will be equal to the original cost. So parang walang depreciation na nangyari. So the declining balance method, double declining. So kanina, declining balance method. This is double declining. Okay. So ang difference lang nila is the rate of depreciation. So magkaiba yan. This is how we compute for the rate of depreciation. And here K is 2 over L. Sa declining balance, this is the rate of depreciation. So double declining balance is we have K is equivalent to 2 over L. So yun lang difference. Yung parehas na yung formulas yan. So yung rate of depreciation lang ang pinagkaiba nilang dalawa. So when the DDB method is used, DDB is double declining balance. The salvage value should not be subtracted from the first cost when calculating the depreciation charge. Okay, so that's how we that's declining balance method and double declining balance method. Okay, so let's solve problems. Okay, number 1, determine the rate of depreciation, the total depreciation up to the end of the 8th year, and book value at the end of 8 years for an asset that costs 15,000 pesos new and has an estimated scrap value of 2,000 pesos at the end of 10 years. So by declining balance method and the double declining balance method, we'll try to just try to mamaya we'll try to compare the results now. Okay, so first we need to solve it using the declining balance method. Okay, so let's try to identify the given in the problem. So we have CO is 15,000 pesos yung original cost natin, and then CL is 2,000 pesos, and I also have The useful life is 10 years, and we are computing the book value after 8 years. And, okay, so let's try to solve it using the declining balance method. So first, we need to solve for the rate of depreciation. So ano yung rate of depreciation? K, and is equivalent to 1 minus L square root of CL over CO. So K is equal to 1 minus the length is 10 years. Square root tuloy. 10. L root. Sorry. Just me. The 10th root naman ito. 2,000 over 15,000. So our rate of depreciation K is 0.1825, or that is 8.25%. Okay, so this is our rate of depreciation. This is important when we compute for the book value, and the depreciation for a certain number of years. So since we're solving for the book value, solve natin yung book value. Total depreciation and then the book value. So the book value in 8 years, C8 is equal to, or say, yung formula mo nilagay natin. Cn is equal to CO, this should be Cn, times the quantity 1 minus K raised to N. So since we're computing for the book value in 8 years, that is equal to C sub 8 na lang ito. So C sub 8, that's 15,000 yung original cost natin. 1 minus K. K is 18.25%. It should be in decimal form. So that is 0.1825 raised to N, which is in this case 8. So C8, the book value in 8 years is, how much is that? 2,992. 219. So this is the book value in 8 years, and the depreciation, we could have solved DN, pero nauna naman natin sinolve yung CN. We could have solved DN, D sub N earlier. But anyway, so we know that Cn is equal to CO minus dn, so since we are solving for dn, yes ma'am. Okay, going back, nag-pause lang because I had a very important matter to attend to. Okay, where were we? CN. Okay, CN. So from this, we can solve for, since we're solving for DN, depreciation on the 8th year. So DN, manipulate lang na equation that would give us CO minus CN. So in this case, we have D8 is equal to CO minus C8, which we have solved a while ago. So the accumulated depreciation, or the depreciation in the accumulated depreciation on the 8th year, is equal to CO is 15,000 minus C8, which is equal to 2,992.219. So the accumulated depreciation on the 8th year, we have, using the declining balance method, is we have 12,007.781 pesos. Okay, so ito na. So yung rate of depreciation, the book value on the 8th year, and then the accumulated depreciation on the 8th year. using the declining balance method. Next, we also use the double declining balance method. Letter B na lang yan. So using the declining balance method, ang pinagkaiba nun is the rate of depreciation. Ano? So for double declining balance method, the rate of depreciation K is equal to 2 over L. Rate of depreciation is equal to 2 over L. In this case, L is 10 years, so we have 20%. No? 20% yung rate of depreciation natin. K, no? Or it's 0.2. So we solve for the book value on the 8th year. That's equivalent to 15,000 times 1 minus K, which is 0.2. 20% and it should be in decimal form. 0.2 raised to N, which is 8 in this case. So the book value on the 8th year is equal to 2,516.5824. Yep, okay. So that's the book value on the 8th year. Next, we solve for the accumulated depreciation on the 8th year, that is CO minus C sub 8. So we have 15,000 minus 2,516.5824. So D sub 8 is equal to 12,483.4176 pesos. So this would be the accumulated depreciation on the 8th year. Okay? So that's it. We can compare. Naman natin masyadong although there are differences, it's up to your perception, of course, if the differences are siguro kung malaking amounts because konti lang naman to, nasa 15,000. But when dealing with a larger amount of money or investment, then we will be dealing with a lot with bigger differences in terms of the values, no? Using the two methods, double declining and the declining balance method. Okay, next problem number 2. Okay, problem number 2. A plant bought a calciner for 220,000 pesos and used it for 10 years. The lifespan of the equipment, 10 years, which is the lifespan of the equipment. What is the book value of the calciner after 5 years of use? Assume a scrap value of 20,000 pesos for straight line method, 22,000 pesos for scrap value for declining balance method, and 20,000 pesos for double declining balance method. Okay, so we are to solve for the book value in 5 years using the three methods: the straight line method, declining balance method, and the double declining balance method. Let's start with letter A. A na lang natin. A is straight line method. So for letter A, CO is 220,000. Then we have a salvage value of 20,000. And then length or lifespan is 10 years. And then we are to solve for the book value in 5 years. So using straight line method, the depreciation. So we need to know the depreciation, the accumulated depreciation on the 5th year for us to solve for the book value on the 5th year. No? So we solve first for the depreciation in the 5th year. Sige, baka nakalimutan nyo na yung formula, straight line. No? So dn using straight line method, CO minus CL all over L. So dn is equal to, we have, since fifth year yan, so let's d sub 5 na lang yan. We have 220,000 minus 20,000 divided by 10. So the accumulated depreciation on the fifth year is, we have 100,000 pesos. Okay, so that the book value on the fifth year is just the difference between the original cost and the accumulated depreciation on the fifth year. So we have C sub 5 is equal to 220,000 minus 100,000. So using straight line method, the using straight line method, the book value on the fifth year is equal to 120,000 pesos. Okay, so that's the book value using the straight line method. Okay, next we use the declining balance method. Letter B, declining balance method. So DBM pala, sorry. D declining balance method. Oh, so CO is still the same. That's 220,000. CL would be different. That is 22,000. And that's 10 years yung L natin. N is 5 years. Okay, first, we need to solve for the book value using declining balance method. We can directly solve for the book value. No. Using declining balance method, Cn is equal to CO CL all over CO raised to N over L. Okay, so we are solving for the book value on the fifth year. So this is C5 is equal to CO, which is 220,000. CL natin is 22,000 all over CO, which is 220,000 raised to N over L. N is 5, L is 10. So the book value on the fifth year using declining balance method is okay, 69,570.109. So take note of the difference. That's a very, very big difference if we use straight line method and the declining balance method. So the book value in the fifth year is 69,000. Dito ay 120,000 pesos. Okay, next, double declining balance method, DDB method. Letter C. So using the double declining balance method, the original cost would still be the same. This time we have a salvage value equivalent to 20,000, and then length is 10 years and is 5 years. Okay, so Cn, the book value is equal to, using double declining balance method, Cn is equal to C sub O 1 minus 2 all over L raised to N. So we have, oh no, hindi pala kita kanina yan. Ayan, okay. So C5, C sub 5, the book value on the fifth year. So we have 220,000 times 1 minus 2 over 10. Okay. 10 yung lifespan ng ng machine ba yun? Calciner, I should say. raised to 5. So the book value on the fifth year is equivalent to 72,089.6 pesos. So that is the book value on the fifth year. Okay? Okay? That's it. So we'll discuss again the next two methods in a separate video.